So, Mark, I don't know a whole lot about Porsches. Do you?
I do.
Oh, okay. All right.
I've had several over many years. I love this car. This would be the one I would drive home with. Yeah.
You would take this
I mean,
home.
first of all, it's silver, and
Okay.
that's the German racing color. So I love Porsches. Any German car in silver is special. That's the color. This is a turbo Carrera, and it's got some special things to it. What it's got is it's really, if you go to the back, you can see that it's got the whale tail,
Right.
and that's the T-tray, they also call it. That's how you can tell it's a turbo. They had to put this on to give room for the intercooler, and so it had a practical effect. They had to do that, and that's how you can tell. And it also gives the downdraft you need to keep the car on the track. It also is, you can see, flared fenders. And they later on made cars they called Turbo Look that didn't have the turbo, but had this and that, and it looks like it. So that's the hard thing, is how do you know if it's a real turbo or not? And this one apparently is a real turbo, and so those are really prized. I hear they're a little tricky because the power just comes, you get a certain like 4,000 RPM, and that comes on, and you're gone.
What year is this, you think?
Probably like a late 70s. I'm going to get killed on this one. I'm probably like a 76.
Yeah, you can always check the tail light if they have been changed, right?
Yeah, I think it's a 76. And for this model, you can tell like there's those little gills by the bumper. So I think it's like a 76.
Car.
Yeah.
I love those lines of flares out.
It is, and it's more aggressive than a normal one. This is the car to have.
And it's sitting right next to McLaren. And what do you think that costs?
Yeah. I mean, both supercars for their eras, right?
Right. There's so many supercars here.
That's what's so great here about the M1 Concourse is
you never know what you're going to see. I mean, sitting next to a Ferrari that looks like this is set up for racing. Now, I think a lot of these cars in this row belong to the M1 Concourse Club. I think that means they may have a garage here.
Yeah,
that you can own.
Right, people own like a condo thing. You have a garage. Oh, and look at that Porsche. That's more modern version
let's look at that one.
Of the turbo.
Let's go on over this way. It's got a lot different color on there. Do you think that's a wrap?
Yeah, I think so. This is more modern. This is meant purely for racing. Where that could be a street car. You could just drive that and
look at the roll cage in there,
the fuel cage. Yeah, so that's
this has one purpose.
This is purely racing. Where that is something you could go and get groceries in.
Right, and so because they're members here and they have their cars, like tomorrow is I think open track day. They go out and they take them around the track, and I've been here and seen that. It is really cool.
Would be great. You have this beautiful garage. You have your car, and you can take it on the track.
Okay, what do you think about Lotus?
I really like Lotus. Lotuses. To me, they're everything with small and light.
Yeah.
I'm not add more horsepower. I'm add braking and lightness to make it faster.
Right.
And that's what Lotus really specializes in. They're small, but they're fast.
Looks like you can adjust this wing.
Yeah.
For downforce. And Lotus always looks like a race car on inside. Because it's so minimal.
Everywhere, probably everything you go to is an event, and you're like racing no matter what you're doing.
Right.
I just love the Lotus. I mean, it
looks like a race car.
Yeah, and they have a lot of times Toyota engines, so you got reliability. And because they're so light.
Yeah.
Even a small amount of power is going to really make them fast. And then a Ferrari. That's kind of interesting seeing these two next to each other.
Yeah, right next to each other.
Similar color.
You can look in the back window and see the engine in there.
Which is on display.
Right. Wow, wouldn't you display it?
Yeah.
So this is not our normal thing.
It isn't, but I love it. I
look at that wing.
Yeah, I've had some Japanese cars. I've had Infiniti, Subaru, but not this.
Big splitter there.
That splitter, and then of course the coffee can muffler. It's huge.
Loaded down. Again, another.
Oh yeah, the ground effect.
And you see the front. I don't know how he doesn't wreck this car.
Yeah, come on up.
I have a hard time with the Mustang being low, hitting things. Look at
Oh,
that.
detachable steering wheel, probably just to get in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is, you cannot drive this on the street.
He drove it in here.
Really?
I watched him.
Wow. You got to be careful.
I know.
That's, oh, it looks like an oil cooler in the front, or maybe that's the turbo cooler.
Tow hook. Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
it is. That's turbo.
Turbo cooler.
Wow.
This is serious.
It's got some splitter there to split the air and stuff. That looks like a video game car, right?
It does. It does.
Like
I like it.
It just came out from a video game.
It's a little extreme for me, but I still like it.
Yeah. Now look, is that a more modern Porsche?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's another turbo. That's a Turbo S. So that's, I'm thinking it's a 991.
Yeah.
Because we give them all model numbers. I had like a 911 and a 964.
Do you think these are stock or these were added on?
It might be a 997. No, that might be an option, the carbon fiber, but I mean, they're having that there.
So this is like a modern version of that other one we just looked at.
It is. It is. So that was a 76. This is almost new. So it's a difference of what, almost 50 years, 40 years.
Really? Turbo S?
It's the same kind of concept. It's got the flat six in the rear. This is water cooled, not air cooled, but it's got a turbo, a whole lot more power. But still, this is a 911. It still is.
It would be neat if they were parked next to each other, wouldn't it? So you could really look at that. Now let's look at the front end. Still, I mean, you can always tell Porsche when you see it, right?
Yeah, you still got the front trunk.
Lower in the front.
Yes.
Almost looks like I bet that is that a camera, some kind of road sensing device.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's got all the modern conveniences you don't have in 1976.
Right.
Yeah, and then
now let's go down here. There's a really, really unique car that we got to look at. This is worth the trip, a Devon. Now I've only seen a couple Devons in my life, but I've never seen one that is so built to race like this. Right?
I don't think I've ever seen a Devon.
No? I saw one at the Concours d'Elegance in Detroit. Beautiful car. Yeah, look at this. This is just...
This is serious racing.
One purpose. Now, I wish I could see this going around the track here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and it's all set up for, like, cool suit.
Yeah.
No passenger seat. That shifter is so cool.
It's got a transponder code there.
So it's vintage, but it has all the modern racing things you need.
It does. Safety.
Yeah.
I mean, these little mirrors are cool. I mean, this just is like and I've been surprised at the amount of people here, and I was watching earlier, they just walk by it.
And yet it's one of the coolest cars here.
I don't get it.
I mean, it's almost like here, like, yeah, it's a Ferrari, whatever. But this is special to me.
I can always edit it, right? And then try not to turn your back to the camera. So I'll go this way.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
So Mark, I don't know a whole lot about Porsches. Do you?
I do.
Oh, okay. All right.
I've had several over many years. This